Giants 31, Vikings 24. Welcome to Talking Giants, presented by John Boy Media. I'm your host, Bobby Skinner, here with my co-host, Justin Pennick, and we are playoff winners. The first Giants playoff victory since Super Bowl 46. A flawless game from Eli Manning. Well, guess what? We had a flawless game from our quarterback in Daniel Jones in this game. Man, it's one thing to win a playoff game, right? Like, if we had scraped it out, would we be just as hyped? Yeah. But I feel confident, not because we scraped out a playoff win, but we played a playoff game and our quarterback played flawless, man. And our best playmaker in Saquon Barkley made the most of every single touch. And that's what we asked for in this game, the offense. And the defense, you got a lot of room for improvement. But man, I am excited to play the Eagles Saturday night.
We're playing next week, too. That's the crazy thing about all this. Not only do we have a great victory, but, like, holy smokes. This is another game week that we got to prepare for. Hi, Bobby Skinner. Hi, everybody. What's going on? This was a special night. I mean, just kind of for us personally, but even, obviously us as Giants fans too. This was such a special night. We wanted our superstars to show up, right? We wanted our coaching, especially on the offensive side of the ball, to be an advantage today. They were. Mike Kafka definitely earned himself an extra interview or two as these head coaching cycles go on. But the offenses that we watch in the postseason, especially in the past, Bobby, and we say, damn, I'm jealous of that. That was us tonight. There were bad teams who are hoping to get better, who are watching what the Giants did tonight and saying, I am jealous of that offense tonight. We had the QB advantage. We had the coaching and schematic advantage. And we have an offense that didn't let up from start to finish. They continued to add wrinkles and evolve. What a special night. The Giants are victorious in the playoffs again. Giants
were disadvantaged talent-wise on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And ended up winning this game. And they led the entire – or actually, they didn't lead the entire game. The Vikings went up 7-0 off the kickoff.
Yeah. I think they were down – I think they trailed for like 3 minutes in this game.
Yeah, they went down 7-0, and then Daniel Jones leads them down the field for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then, that was the Saquon Barkley 28-yard touchdown run. And we'll talk about all these guys, but it really does start with Daniel Jones. He went 24 of 35, 301 yards, 8.6 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, and then 17 rushes for 78 yards. I mean, he played flawlessly and put the team on his back. Now, Saquon Barkley helped, obviously, so not a full, just DJ did everything. Like, there has been some games this year like that. But, man, he just put the team on his back. Like you said, Mike Kafka, this was a great game that led to a lot of yak. But DJ, that part of that is not just, the scheme. That is Daniel Jones getting guys, getting the ball to the right guys at the right time and letting them get that yak. And we called for it, Justin. The last time me and you recorded a recap podcast together was the Washington Commanders tie, and the Giants offense had been figured out. It had been figured out where they want to be run heavy, and they want to run play action off of it. It had been totally figured out. And we said, you have to put this offense in the hands of Daniel Jones. Yep. You need to put that in, you still do your play action, but you need to put this offense in his hands. Let him be the commander of this offense. Whether it's a quick game, working the ball downfield, let him make decisions, especially on early downs. And guess what has happened since then? Well, they went and played the Vikings. Daniel Jones looked really good. Beat the Colts with 30 points. Had 30 points in this game. Daniel Jones had 55 touches in this game, and we talked about what about Saquon? I don't need Saquon being a workhorse. I need Saquon Barkley being a star who's efficient, and that's what he was in this game.
Yes,
14 touches for Saquon. That's not very much, but he produced 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was open in space, and he was able to make guys miss on a consistent basis.
And also, the best offenses in the NFL are centered around your quarterback. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And the fact that Saquon Barkley shouldn't be dependent on getting 25 touches to have this game where we're saying, wow, that was a really good Saquon Barkley game, or on that 20th touch of the game, that's where he gets that 20-plus yard play. No, Saquon Barkley from start to finish should be a guy that is an explosive play guy. We're going to talk about Saquon Barkley, but my first note that I have on Daniel Jones is we have seen the offense take off when the coaching staff has trusted its QB to launch it. What a concept. What a concept, and that's one that we've been trying to preach for the entire season. And why I think this Giants offense, they have had more of the high-scoring output games over the last few weeks. We feel like the Giants offense has been moving the ball. It's because it's not relying on a running back's not necessarily relying on a running game, but it's relying on the quarterback to get them there. And that is on the ground, and that is through the air. And that we are seeing as Giants fans, we haven't had this in a long time, probably since like 2015. And then even before 2015, it was 2011, the year that we won the Super Bowl with Eli Manning. We are seeing the benefits of an offense that trusts its quarterback, and also a quarterback that's just playing really freaking well right now.
He's playing amazing, and he's done it all year long.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like he plays essentially flawless football. And I think this was... We all have a tendency of saying after every game, like, this is Daniel Jones' best game. This, to me, and it's not because of the playoff, was one of Daniel Jones' best games. Like, because he was perfect from start to finish. You know, we had 11 incompletions, a few drops in there, you know, and, you know, the deep throw to Slayton that didn't work out, but that was still a beautiful throw. And then you have like a ball tipped here, ball tipped there, end of the half stuff. Like, he was perfect. Every decision was the right decision. The ball was always accurate on every single pass, and he was delivering the ball down the field. I mean, Justin, it's tied 24-24. Like, we are sitting there frustrated, like, man, this defense is letting us down.
Yeah.
This offense is playing extremely well.
It was the third quarter. I think they just like punted the ball. It was their first punt of the day.
Yeah. But then the Vikings tie at 24-24.
Right.
It's the fourth quarter. We have a 2nd and 10. Guess what? This play, I think, defines what DJ's works. Like, it's not just physical, but this is like a mental ability to pull the trigger on this. I know he hasn't been chucking the ball downfield this year, but to me, this is a word I've used with Daniel Jones. Haven't used it much, you know, the 2 previous years. But to me, he's just cold-blooded. He really is cold-blooded, and that's why we expected him to come to playoffs. He's just one of those psychos who just, the stuff doesn't matter to him. And I know he does want to go out there and prove himself. Like, he's not a robot. But it's fourth quarter, tied 24-24, 2nd and 10. He's rolling out to his left, going away from his body, and just fires in a 30-yard throw to Isaiah Hodgins on the sideline.
Yeah, 19
Great job
game.
by Hodgins, by the way, who had an awesome game, and pulls it down, and there we go. There we go. 30 air yards going to your left. Mm-hmm. So you want to say, oh, this throw. No, he can make every single throw, and he's got the mental ability to do it, because a lot of quarterbacks are not pulling the trigger on that.
You got to have the confidence, and that's part of what Daniel Jones, I think, at times has been lacking this year, is the confidence to make the sideline throw and, you know, the big throw kind of down the field. While he has been methodical moving down the field, there have been times where he's been hesitant to pull that trigger. Well, he pulled that trigger. And even though, like, his average intended air yards is still like just over 5 yards, but, and this is credit to Mike Kafka, Brian Dable, the yards after the catch was absolutely incredible today. I mean, I think you did a quick chart. It was over
176 yards.
So Daniel Jones had a little over 300 passing yards today. So over half of those yards are coming after the catch. Now, I'm not saying that's not diminishing Daniel Jones' performance. That's just, we have good coaching. We have good coaching. We have a good scheme that gets guys open, that gets guys in space. Darius Slayton's fast. Even Isaiah Hodgins, who's playing on like a broken foot, sprained ankle, whatever. You know, he had some really cool yards after the catch play. Saquon Barkley, getting him out in space, getting him involved in the receiving game. That's something that, you know, we were talking about this entire week. We talked a lot about it with the entertainment. Add wrinkles to what Saquon Barkley did against Minnesota. Not just those swing passes, but some of those out routes, choice routes. It was really awesome to see, just from, like, there isn't even one thing that I'm like, wow, that was that one play, that one specific moment, this one specific route. This one specific drive was the thing that was working for Daniel Jones in this Giants offense. It was the entire game.
Everything, yeah.
It was the entire game. And first player, Daniel Jones, the first player all time with 300-plus passing yards, 70-plus rushing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and a single postseason game. And guess what? 1 touchdown was taken off the board for Daniel Jones.
Yeah, he should have had another touchdown if it wasn't for a Daniel Bellinger false start. Yeah. You know, and another 4 points on the board, you know, because they ended up kicking a field goal on that. And just to look at the drives, I mean, the offense was perfect today. Like, touchdown, field goal, you know, the Bellinger false start, touchdown, punt, like that was the only drive where it's like, okay, the offense didn't do good, touchdown, and then they punt at the end of the game. How did they punt, Justin? The Slayton drop, which we got to talk about Slayton too.
Yeah.
But like with the yak, it wasn't even just like yak on like, okay, throw the swing passes to Saquon, and those definitely happened. But a lot of times they were like 15, 20 yards downfield, and these guys were still able to create space. And like you said, that's where it is credit to Dable and Kafka for getting guys in a situation to allow Daniel Jones to make these decisions, to make these throws, and set them up. Yeah. And then the accuracy in general just allows for that yak.
Early down efficiency, too, is something that I really talk about a lot. I talk about early down efficiency a lot because you want to avoid third down. And, we kind of lump in early down efficiency with throwing the ball on first down, throwing the ball on first and second down, having a high pass rate. There was at one point in this game where the Giants were 7 for 10 on third down. They finished 7 for 13, but also they were 2 for 2 on fourth down. So if you want to kind of put that on a third/fourth down conversion rate, that's 9 for 15. That's pretty damn good. Bobby, I want you to guess. I don't think you're going to be able to guess. What was the Giants average to go distance on third down? This is something that's going to make me excited, below the table right now. Thank God there's no camera on.
Third and 4.4.
You are correct. Did you see that somewhere?
No, I swear that was literally just a guess.
Third and 4.4 exactly. You know ball.
I know ball.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I mean, to have an average...
A lot of times I just know what the stat you're going to say. I actually just guessed that.
To have an average... I didn't even tweet it out. To have an average to-go distance throughout the entire game. 3rd and 4 to go. That is some awesome, awesome stuff. And for the majority of the game, they did a good job of kind of avoiding third down too. But if you want to get in third down, you want it third and manageable. So they really, just from start to finish, this was really, it's a perfect offensive game. Besides, I guess you can say Darius Slayton.
Well, yeah, and perfect game. And then with Saquon, man, like I know he didn't have a lot of touches, and what's funny is we got some people asking us, like, well, they got to get Saquon more involved.
Yeah, a lot of people through Bleacher Report. And
it's like, no, they don't. Like, the offense can't be stopped right now. Like, this is the best offensive game of the year. But, again, able to produce 111 yards on the ground and in the air.
All purpose, yeah.
2 touchdowns. By the way, we obviously were sitting next to each other. That second, the first touchdown, 28 yards, great cut. Ooh.
Yep.
No, that was actually awesome. But the second touchdown, we watched the replay together. I mean, he just gets low and just fires into Dalvin Tomlinson's
at the 3-4 yard line. He meets Dalvin Tomlinson, gets a good look on him, meets him,
and just
drives his legs. That was, I mean, you want to talk about I don't want to just you just said this with Daniel Jones. This is one of Daniel Jones's best games. I kind of want to say between what he did in the receiving game, what he did on the ground, and the ways that he did it on the ground with the speed, with the pitch, right? That cut, getting the speed, getting the sideline, beating the guy to the end zone, touchdown, reading the blockers, the out route, the choice route that he ran, and beating his guy to the sideline. That was like a 2nd and long, 3rd and long. That was a big conversion. That was a big first down that he got, beat his guy to the sideline. But then also the power, like the diversity that we saw Saquon Barkley be successful today. It's not something that we've seen kind of packed into all one game in his entire career. And I don't know if that's just me taking it far because it's a playoff game, but what do you think?
Well, again, I do think there's a lot of other games where Saquon just played like super.
No, but I'm talking about like the combination of speed, power, catching the ball, like all 3 of those things packed into one game.
Yeah. The Titans game was something similar to
that. It was, yeah. 2-point conversion, yeah.
It's just going into this game, I was like, we need superstar stuff out of Saquon. And he made guys miss every time he touched the ball. Or drove through them, like you said, and used that power to them. And we needed that. And he also had like 20 yards taken off the board on that bullshit holding call on Nick Gates on the first play of the game, too. So he just, every time he got the ball, good things happened with Saquon Barkley. There was one, I think, cut 2-3 yard loss on, I think it was the drive they did punt in the second half on first down. Other than that, I mean, it was pretty damn beautiful. And we could talk about how big his thighs are and make guys miss. Finally,
use the power.
Yeah, use that power, and that happened, and then just was able to make guys miss.
And that's not just anybody there. We know how strong Dalvin Tomlinson is. We know how good he is.
Yeah. It's like, we miss you, Dalvin.
Tomlinson.
We miss you, Dalvin. Since we're talking about the running back with DJ, we didn't talk about it much. He uses his legs perfectly. 0 design runs
the first Viking game, and we're sitting here thinking, I kind of feel like that's going to play an element in this game, and oh boy, did it.
Yeah, and here's something with Daniel Jones. It's not just, he's got legs and he creates rushing yards. Like, he kind of he's got a great feel for like, this is the time to run, this is the time to sit here in the pocket and go. Like, there's no panic to his game anymore. And then that creates the over 70 rushing yards that he had in this game.
This coaching staff also gives him the freedom.
Yeah, it's definitely been a coaching point this year, is to create more with his legs.
If it's there, take it.
Yeah, I mean, especially on the third downs. He had a couple third down runs that he had, and we saw some confidence in that. We saw something that you only see a few QBs in the league try and do, where he runs 5 yards down the field, pump fakes, and it works. Like, pump fakes this cat, gets him frozen, and then runs right past him.
It's like this quarterback is not throwing the ball 5 yards down the field. Yeah, I mean that's something that you see like Lamar, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes do. I kind of saw that, and I was like, this is a different Daniel Jones today. Seeing that little move, that little pump fake while you're running the ball 5 yards down the field, like, come on.
Playoff Daniel Jones is the best Daniel Jones. Like, he is this cold-blooded ice in his veins.
He was sick.
Crazy, man.
Sick. Crazy.
And I'm excited to see it again. That's why we said going into this game, it's like, I'm excited to see what he does. Win or lose, I think we're going to be happy with him. And, man, like, he played... maybe the Colts game, but like he played one of his best games of the season.
I agree.
Of his career.
I agree. I want to talk some schematic stuff too. But I have an explosive play report. I usually don't do this on Sunday on game day, but I figured today needed it. Today needed it. So we had 5 plays of 20 plus yards. We tied the season single game high with the first Vikings game that we had. Now, the Isaiah Hodgins comeback improvised play was 19 yards. So we were 1 yard away from breaking the single game season high with 6 plays of 20 plus yards. We had 5 passes of 19 plus yards. We had 5 runs of 10 plus yards. That's what I call balance. 5 out of the 10 big plays came on first down. Love it. So much yak too, which honestly, like, I think we just mentioned the yak as just kind of like in passing, how, estimate that over half of Daniel Jones's passing yards came with yards after the catch today. I don't know if I've ever seen a Giants game in my life have so much cumulative yak in it between Hodgins, Slayton, Barkley. Like, it was just nuts. Crazy.
Yeah, and I want to talk about Slayton within that because and
he's the guy that has the biggest potential to have yards after the catch, but he's so aggravating. He
had 22 yards per catch in this game. Like, crazy. This game, like, Slayton was a huge part of this game. Darius Slayton is 100% needed by this Giants team to win games.
Yeah, 50%.
He is needed on this roster. Like, they need him on this roster to be a successful offense. He's not on the field. They're not. It's hard. They cannot be a sustained successful offense. And he does all these great things and makes these big plays. Had a big third down catch in the red, at the goal line essentially. But drops, man, continue to like just plague this dude's career. And it's like the easiest way to fall out of favor with the fan base. It's just frustrating because there's so many good things he could do. And we were saying at the beginning of the game, it's like they forgot about Slay. It's like they want to talk about this guy. They forgot about Slay. And it's just drops like. That could have been like now. That
could have been the difference in the game.
But that could have been the game where we with the drop we referenced, like the Slayton drop in the Vikings game, the Slayton drop in the Commanders, like we have, like the way that it happened with Evan Ingram. That could have been just another one on the list for him. Luckily they're there. I was very happy with the coaching staff. Dable,
we need you.
Saying we need you.
Yep.
Like, I really appreciated that from Brian Dable. Like, hey, we need you, and the other players going picking him up.
And knowing Dable, too, is an intense guy on the sidelines.
Yeah, Dable's not afraid to get on a guy for a drop, right? Like, Dable's not – that's not like Dable all the time where he's like, oh, he's going to go pick you up. Like, if you drop a ball, Dable has no problem going telling you, like you need to focus, like getting on your ass. So I really thought that moment was good because it's like we need Slayton to win. Like, you want to beat this Eagles team, you need Darius Slayton on the roster, even if he's not having the biggest of games. You need him on this offense.
Yeah, I still think he's the best receiver on the roster, and I still think he's the biggest difference maker.
Hodgins is pushing him though. And Hodgins in this game, by the way, go check out his Instagram story. His ankles, it's like all black and blue.
It's fucked up.
Second 100-yard receiving game of the season for the Giants. The only other one was Wandale versus the Lions.
So first Isaiah Hodgins 100 receiving yard game of his career.
Yeah, and then just getting the second for the Giants. one, like we talked about the Daniel Jones throw on the sideline. Like Hodgins made just as an amazing catch on that.
When's the last time somebody's made a catch like that for the Giants?
They cooked him and Slayton cooked Patrick Peterson all game. Like that post route touchdown that Hodgins had, that was a Justin Jefferson touchdown. A couple in the Christmas Eve game. Like that was a beautiful post route. He like ran his route. DJ bangs it in there to him. Touchdown. One of my favorite underrated Daniel Jones plays in this game is where he is running. Like he's running. You think he's going to run. And while he's running, he just fires into Hodgins.
It was a 31-yard play.
Yeah. And then Hodgins, runs. He did say, don't make fun of me for running slow because he did get caught by
I thought he looked pretty good.
Well, he got caught by Kendricks, the linebacker.
I mean, I knew Isaiah Hodgins was slow. So the fact that he got 31 yards there when he caught the ball like short of the sticks, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, so he's becoming their most trusted wide receiver. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, and I think Hodgins. I know we try and give Slayton a little love just because of the speed and the fact that he is kind of like the deep play, explosive play, but the biggest explosive play potential guy on the team. But Hodgins really, I think he's been part of the key and part of the solution of unlocking this Giants offense and really getting this coaching staff to a point where they're comfortable now with putting the game in Daniel Jones's hands. That's not happening without Isaiah Hodgins.
Justin Marcus Johnson was playing like every down for the Giants unless they were running two tight end personnel.
Yeah.
Like having Isaiah Hodgins is a huge difference.
Another touchdown today too. You just talked about the post.
Yeah. I want to talk about this receiver, Kenny Golladay.
Oh,
that block was that got me. That was like top 5 fired up plays of the game. Was Kenny Golladay just bamf block on that corner, like put him on his ass. Credit to Kenny Golladay, man. You only get thrown out there for a few snaps.
Was it a Barkley run?
Yeah, it was like I think it was. Yeah. They threw it to Barkley. And he just puts, I think it was Duke Shelley. Like just puts Duke Shelley on his ass. Like that's Bamf shit. I was very happy with that.
Love it, Kenny Golladay. Love it. I have some other thoughts, schematic stuff. I want to talk about. I forgot to read about this too.
We give these guys like when they're not good, we give them issues. The offensive line outside of Evan Neal, but even though Evan Neal was nowhere near as bad as he was in the first Vikings game, and when he does get beat around the corner, Jones is able to step up. DJ had a pocket to throw from. Like he had a pocket to throw from and sit there and get that ball downfield.
There was one bad sack, and then the other sack was just a -2 yard loss. Then I don't even think it impacted the drive.
Yeah, and they just were able to get in the rush lanes when DJ was trying to escape. Like Evan Neal's still an issue. Very worried about him going to play the Eagles a third time this year, no doubt. But outside of that, I'll go and we'll do the O-line report and break it all down. But those guys were awesome. Andrew Thomas, another perfect game. I don't think he gave up a single pressure the entire game. When they were lining up Zadarius Smith on Andrew Thomas, we were saying what? Like why? Why waste the rush of Zadarius Smith putting him on this guy?
Yeah. Yeah, and also credit to John Feliciano, too. You started off, I thought where you were going to go with this when you started off by saying, we give these guys a lot of shit when they're bad. I thought you were going to go like John Feliciano, and I know Mark Lewinsky kind of allowed that sack with Evan Neal, like the one bad sack of the game, but I thought, John Feliciano on that pitch, I thought makes kind of a difference block there where he gets out in space, he gets his hands on some corners and stuff like that. Saquon Barkley kind of like cuts right around him, and then boom, that's a 28-29 yard touchdown that Saquon Barkley has too. So, and especially when you talk about, I'm just thinking of this as seeing the game, not remembering John Feliciano plays, but when Evan Neal's trying to wash guys around the corner. And because he's kind of crossing his feet and he's just trying to chase guys around. Daniel Jones has to have a pocket to step up in, and John Feliciano needs to take care of his stuff in the middle, and he needs to make sure that he has that locked down. So credit to John Feliciano. Ben Bredesen, Nick Gates looked pretty well. That was a bullshit Nick Gates holding penalty.
Yeah, that was a great block by Nick Gates, and they called a holding penalty.
Put him on the ground. There was a.
Did you see Fox get the image of Nick Gates with the?
Yep, the Giants, the SNY the Giants videos account too got him going back to the. Going back to the locker room, he was chirping a little bit. That's who
Nick Gates is. Cool. Shannon Sharp.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty
Shannon
cool.
Sharps went soft, by the way.
Yeah, went soft. I want to talk about. I'm 24 minutes in. Are you proud of me? I didn't talk about EPA yet. Daniel Jones, 91st percentile in EPA per play, 98th percentile in total EPA. Oh, this is also something I want to talk about. For we talk about the benefits of throwing on early downs. It ain't always going to be like this, but this was actually perfect. Wasn't even close to perfect. It actually was perfect. There were 17 first down passes this game, Bobby. All 17 first down passes in the series of events, first down, second down, third down, all 17 first down passes either resulted in a first down or eventually in that series resulted in a first down. So the benefits of throwing on early downs, it ain't always going to be perfect. But
and that's why we
helped.
said, even when the Giants were winning, it's like, put the ball in Daniel Jones' hands because he's not going to have a 4-yard loss. Like, doesn't matter how good Saquon Barkley is. You continually run the ball on first down, you're going to get off schedule. When you put the ball in Daniel Jones' hands, you are going to let this offense stay on schedule because he's going to make the right decisions on early downs. And then when you get in 3rd and 10s, well, then it's like it's 10 yards or bust. That's when you put them in the offense in bad situations.
All right, I have one more offensive point, but I want to talk about something first. Can I talk about something?
Let's talk about something.
Do you have any more big offensive points?
By the way, Daniel Bellinger's dad, Frank, just posted.
Very good troll job.
Yeah, that was a great troll job. Like, I didn't know Frank
honored my son playing with Patrick Peterson,
future Hall of Fame DB Patrick Peterson, on like the touchdown scored on him and then the 2-point conversion over him.
Yeah, fantastic.
That is like, for Frank's an old guy. Like, you go look at his picture. He's 50s, 60s.
Part of me thinks it is genuine, but it's like that's a troll job.
No, it's a great Twitter troll job.
Absolutely. All right, this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Good guess to our producer on what ad I was going to read first. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Working with a therapist can help you get closer to the best version of you, because when you feel empowered, you're more prepared to take on everything life throws at you, like preparing for Eagles Week. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's
Patrick
convenient.
Peterson, get some BetterHelp.
Yeah, needs it, man. Needs a man. If Isaiah Hodgins is putting you through the mental and the physical ringer, you got to go get some BetterHelp. It's convenient, flexible, affordable, and entirely online, so Patrick Peterson doesn't even need to leave his couch when he goes home this upcoming winter. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit BetterHelp.com/TalkinGiants today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TalkinGiants. 1G. That G is in the Giants, not Talking Giants, Talking Giants. You'll be glad you did, Bobby Skinner. I have one more offensive point.
You'll be glad you did.
My one more offensive note is I'm really excited to watch your film review this week, because I do feel like Kafka added some wrinkles to stuff, and here's just some of the stuff that I kind of thought of on the just kind of rewatching some of the big plays. The Slayton 47-yarder, obviously the cornerbacks that fell. But you had Saquon offset as a single back. Breida went in motion at the snap. So that was 21 personnel that we created a 47-yard play. I think Marcus Johnson was in the game and he was running like a streak down the field, kind of clearing out space for Slayton running the crosser. So we've seen that concept before, but the fact that I felt like I was watching like an offense from like 2004, where how often did you see like quarterbacks under center with running backs kind of like to their right, not directly behind them, and then maybe they're even like running play action out of that. So that was some really cool stuff. Ton of pre-snap motion. I think today might have been, and I think maybe I'll ask Seth Walder, and the 1% chance he'll respond to me. But I think this was the most pre-snap motion at the snap the Giants ran out of all their games today. And that was something that I was kind of calling for as, hey, this is another wrinkle that you can add to the offense that maybe you didn't have this season. Richie James, Daniel Bellinger, Saquon Barkley, Matt Breida, they used a ton of 21 personnel, which usually 21 personnel is a fullback, right? It's a fullback and a running back.
Oh, yeah,
but it was
Breida was in the game a ton.
Matt Breida and Saquon Barkley. And I have said all year, I love those packages, man, because you just never know if Breida's going to get the ball, if Saquon's going to get the ball. He can go in orbit motion. They can give him the ball, and throw it to him out of the backfield. They can hand it off to Saquon. There was a 3rd and 1 that was kind of risky. Matt Breida arguably may have the play of the game. There was like a 3rd and short.
Yeah. I mean, Breida, they've done that little speed sweep to Breida on 3rd and 4th downs like a bunch this year.
Yeah.
And it's worked every time. Almost didn't. He also had another play like where he drove his yard and turned like a 2-yard run into 5 yards. Yep. Speaking of like short yard distance, I wanted to go back and give Brian Dable credit. Players own wins, so we talk about players a ton. Going for it on 4th and 1 at your own 45 with 3.5 minutes left, up 7. I don't care if it's a QB sneak, whatever. It takes balls, like it does, and I'm very happy that he was willing to do that. Like,
and they didn't even think about it. They got out there, they did it.
Yeah, trust your guys, trusting your guys to get those yards.
All right, I'm good on the offense.
Yeah, we got to talk defense. As good as the offense was, man, this was one of the poorest defensive performances by the Giants this season. And it's just so Adoree Jackson's back, McKinney's back. And they just like let's look at Kirk Cousins' numbers on this game. Like Kirk Cousins was able to get us until the end of the game, and Wink did
30
adjust.
30 for 39.
31 of 39.
31 of 39.
So like he had a higher completion percentage than Daniel Jones, not the same amount of yards per attempt, but he had 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And sometimes the Vikings offense is like what got them off the field. Like they ran that trick play, like that throwback to Kirk Cousins. Yeah. Like they took themselves off the field.
It was 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
Dude, and they ran the ball well. It wasn't even the first matchup they kind of ran they were running the ball well. And this is like with a lot of the teams that the Giants face is like, especially on these, you have 36 inches. The Titans did some weird shit week 1. And even like the Vikings did some weird stuff the first time around too on like these 3rd and shorts where you're like, you're just throwing the ball. And especially, I get throwing the ball, but having that like reverse pitch back to Jefferson throwing was the plan for the Vikings there that Kirk Cousins was going to catch that ball and run for the first down? He took off.
I think he was going to throw it again. I don't know what they're doing, but they shot themselves in the foot.
That's bad, man.
But Wink Martindale had not only sat in those two. So here's what I think the plan was: is that like, hey, our front four is going to be able to dominate them, right? So let's sit back in our 2 high shells. Let's keep everything in front of us. But with the Vikings and Justin Jefferson, that's not the way you like. And Justin Jefferson's numbers weren't great in this game. He had 7 catches for 47 yards.
And I have the stats on when Adoree was drilling him too.
And they did double Jefferson quite a bit. But even though he didn't have a ton of yards, he was very like efficient in this game, right?
Yeah.
Like he was able to get those quick throws, and like, yeah, were they 8-9 yards? Yeah, but they were converting into first downs, because if you give Justin Jefferson free releases, he's going to win. Like he's just flat out going to win.
Then they were not playing him with cushion, or they were giving him too much cushion. Where Justin Jefferson's average on the year, average cushion heading into this game was about 5.4. At halftime, we checked it. It was around 6.4. So it was about an entire yard more than what his average was. It was still less than like the 7 yards where it was on that Christmas Eve matchup the first time around. But there are teams where the Jets, the Lions, the Packers, like 3 teams that held Justin Jefferson to under 50 yards so far this season. Kind of the trend is that they were stuffing him at the line. They were getting physical. They were getting handsy. And there were times where Adoree Jackson, that he was playing press, that he was playing close, that he was getting physical at the line of scrimmage. Kirk Cousins was looking towards Justin Jefferson's way, couldn't go there.
Yeah, and so they adjusted towards the end of the game. So good on Wink. But for 3/4 of this game, Justin,
yeah,
I'll stop playing with this. For 3/4 of the game, they were sitting back in that zone, and they were like giving help on Justin Jefferson, so they'd either like get the quick game on the free releases. But Hawkinson had another 10-catch, 129-yard game for them.
He went nuts.
Thielen, and what was happening was they were expecting the pass rush to dominate from like beginning of the snap, right? Get these quick initial wins. The pass rush was good, not amazing, and Dex really turned it up towards the end of the game through 3/4. And so they were sitting in these zones where Kirk is like, all right, I can get these quick releases type things. But a lot of times, man, he was just hanging in there and like knowing like Hawkinson's, like when you're running that zone from those 2 high shells, well, you have the deep coverage, you have the shallow covered. But there's so much room in the middle, and when you got a guy like Hawkinson where you can trust that he's going to get there, he's going to work some of those double moves. He has that subtlety in his route running to get route sell and get linebackers to bite. Well, he's going to eat on that, and, and that's exactly what happened. And there's plays where Kirk Cousins did a good job manipulating like the linebacker with his eyes. Jalen Smith had a horrible play in coverage down in the red zone.
Yeah, a lot of touchdowns. It was KJ Osborne touchdown.
Yeah, the KJ Osborne touchdown. Like he was just able, like, okay, I'm going to work the middle of the field versus these guys because these linebackers are not good enough. And Darnay, like, just he's not playing well. Darnay is kind of like almost like just a flats defender. Yeah, I know he did have 2 tackles for loss. Good on him for that.
Yeah, it was good rebound, good bounce back. Needed those negative plays too at the time. But Wink Martindale's approach to this game, Bobby, I mean, we were live streaming all throughout, and we were talking about it. We were coming into this game thinking that, the front four's got to dominate. Aziz, Leo, Leonard Williams missed some tackles in the first half too in the run game. Aziz went out with that quad injury.
It's always a different injury with Aziz.
It's crazy. At least part of me was like, hoping it was the ankle, because that's what you've been struggling with. So we'll see what's going on with Aziz. But anyway, we were just expecting the front four to really eat this game, and I thought that the approach on defense of playing with a lot of cushion, playing back, playing in that quarters coverage that they've had, somewhat decent success with the last few weeks. I thought that prevented the pass rush from having an impact in the game where, Kayvon was getting home. I mean, I know the next gen stats is always different from like Pro Football Reference, whatever. I saw there was a certain point in the game where, they tracked that Kayvon had like 5 pressures. Dexter Lawrence, man, he had 4 QB hits on the game. He was dominant. He showed up to play today.
Absolutely.
He showed up to play today. And Kirk Cousins in both matchups did a solid job. It's annoying. It's annoying as hell from a Giants fan perspective, but did a solid job of getting rid of that ball just before. Mostly it's been Dexter Lawrence that's been getting back there and laying hits on him. So I thought that the defensive approach by Wink Martindale, we're thinking that this front four has got to eat. I thought the mentality of not playing physical, not playing man coverage, not playing these guys in press, it prevented the front four from having a feast day.
Well, that's when we started seeing Dex at his best. Is in the fourth quarter, to credit to Wink Martindale, he did adjust. Because what did we see? And this was something we wanted. Just like we did, versus the Ravens, actually. What did we see? We saw Xavier McKinney walk his ass down to the line of scrimmage and just man up on Hawkinson.
Yeah.
Man up on Hawkinson, and it worked. And they were pressing Adore on him, and then bracketing like the last play of the game where Kirk Cousins checks it down to Hawkinson on 4th and 10. They bracketed Justin Jefferson while Adore pressed him up, and then you put Xavier McKinney 1-on-1.
Why did that
with
take
TJ Hawkinson?
Why did that take them so long to put Xavier McKinney?
I don't know, but
TJ Hawkinson.
And the thing is, it's not like it's a Wink Martindale type of thing. Like he is known for playing press man, and blitzing, and they really didn't do it in this game.
We've seen Xavier McKinney be that guy this year. I mean, I remember week 2 against the Panthers. If there's a guy that isn't a wide receiver one, whether it's a tight end, whether it's a running back, if there's a guy that this defense needs to account for, Xavier McKinney is the guy that's like responsible for accounting for him. Do you think they were worried about they wanted McKinney playing the deep half of the field and preventing the explosive play? Is that one of the things you thought that maybe they were worried about? We got to look at the film, but
yeah, it's hard to tell totally from the broadcast, but I think it was just they wanted to bracket Justin Jefferson, and when you play single high safety, well, you can't force a bracket, right? So I think but at some point, like you said, it's like you gotta stop living in fear of the big play. And again, the Giants offense played perfect in this game. They had a drive that went 11 minutes. Like the Vikings offense, it's compared to the Giants offense, this doesn't sound very good, but it was touchdown, punt, which was the Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson throw, a punt, which was a good drive, touchdown, field goal, and that field goal was when they had the false start on a 4th and 1, that they would have gotten.
Big. Little things you need to go right.
Then the last 2 drives of the game, that's when you started seeing them like, okay, let's blitz, let's man up on these guys. And they had a punt, 3 plays, -1 yards, and then they turned the ball over on downs the next drive. and then the game was over. So
I'm trying to rewatch something here.
The Eagles will be a very different team, but you kind of have to, get in. You have to get back into that press man. Also, Cordell Flott came in at the end of the game.
This is so. I'm rewatching this play right now. Where was he? Oh, he was. So Osborne ran a crosser right over the middle of the field, and that's a tough ask to get in there to make that pass breakup like that.
Flott's just springy, man. Like he's just able to break on the ball. He just stick with
long arms. Got his arm in there.
Yeah,
long arms. That's what you want in these corners.
Yeah, and obviously they drafted Flott to be a press man Connor. And he's done good. Obviously, he almost is like better out on the outside because the nickel corner is so much more involved in the run game, and Flott can't really play the run with his weight issues right now. It's like he's almost better suited right now on the outside. And we talked about it when we drafted Flott. Like a lot of times people just want to put a guy out on the outside. When we drafted Darnay, we're telling people he's got to play in the nickel. He can't play on the outside. Well, that's true. Robinson didn't really want him on the outside. But I was like, he needs to play nickel. Flott was like, man, he might be able to play outside, right? Because he's got the speed, he's got the the break on the ball. He just kind of explodes out of his back pedal the way those other guys don't. So
what makes that play even more impressive? I'm talking film here. Cordell Flott was lined up on Osborne's outside shoulder, going towards the sideline. So he was defending the deep play. Like ideally, if Osborne's running that streak, then maybe he's looking to push him towards the sideline. So the fact that Osborne released towards the middle of the field, basically going away from Cordell Flott, I find that to be even more impressive that Flott was able to get there, get his hands in there, break up that pass. I mean, absolutely, one of the plays of the game, and then Xavier McKinney making that tackle on Hawkins. Not an easy tackle. Hawkinson's a big dude. Not an easy task to bring that guy down too.
Yeah. Other notes on the defense. It's gonna have a tough matchup next week, even though our third stringers almost beat them scumbags.
They had a bye week. We had a bye week, and it helped us. I think it helped a guy like Saquon. I mean, look at how explosive he looked. I think it helped a guy like Dex, who's been taking practices off for the last couple of weeks. You saw how energized he was today. So Eagles got that bye week too.
Another game of keeping running backs and reasonable. Like they had 15 carries of 60 yards.
Can we
on the game, 4 yards per carry, and they were kind of like some big runs, and then the D line does a good job of making those stops when they need to.
Can you do me a favor?
Even though Jalen Smith is horrible.
Can you do me a favor?
I'll do you a favor.
Can you find Boston Scott and harm him in some way that doesn't hurt him physically for a long time, but just for the week? No, I'm not asking that.
Yeah, I'll kill him.
All right. All right, we got to do something with Boston Scott.
Yeah, but there's no way Boston Scott does this in the playoffs. It's a regular.
It's no way, right?
It's a regular.
No way. Thing. Some have said.
Boston Scott.
Can we just emphasize? We got to emphasize how good Dex was today.
Yeah, I mean 4 QB hit, and again at the end of the game, he just started dominating Garrett Bradbury. Dominating, and he had the best run defenses plays of the game.
Yep.
Where Dexter Lawrence making run stops. I mean, he made All Pro, and so did Andrew Thomas. Congrats to both of those young cats. Very happy for them. I'm a little more happy for Andrew Thomas, just for personal biases.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But very happy for those guys getting their due. And by the way, Dexter Lawrence making All Pro, and maybe one of the hardest years to make All-Pro for a defensive tackle. Like this year has been one of the best years for defensive tackle play.
Oh yeah,
like Chris Jones has been amazing.
Quentin Williams
has been amazing. Aaron Donald. I think Aaron Donald kind of needs to stop. He didn't deserve All-Pro.
Jeff Simmons.
I mean, the defensive tackle play this year has been nuts. Hey, Andre Patterson, revenge game. The defensive line coach.
Yeah.
Like moving him to a nose tackle and just getting the most out of him.
The fans were right. They've been wanting it for years. The fans were right.
So, anything else? I do want to talk about our live event for a little bit.
Yeah, I have an Adoree Jackson quote, and thanks to Jordan Ronan for tweeting this out. ESPN has the database of next-gen stats, and they barely choose to use it. But Jordan Ronan used it here. Adoree Jackson played opposite Justin Jefferson 85% of the snaps per next gen, allowed 6 catches for 37 yards to the nearest defender. Asked Jackson what it meant that they trusted him with that assignment after 7 weeks out. I fuck with it, man. I appreciate the team believing in me. I fuck with it too, Adoree Jackson.
Wait, what? Here, let me read it.
I fuck with it, man. I talk like that often. Can I talk about DraftKings?
Yeah, talk about DraftKings. You want to talk about
wow,
a watch party?
I'm going to talk about DraftKings. The NFL playoff action continues, and the New York Football Giants are part of it. We're one step closer to Super Bowl 57. And for the NFL divisional round, check out DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. I low-key want to see, can I see the line for the Giants-Eagles game this Sunday?
We should tweet that out right now. It's 1 a.m. I'll schedule it.
Per the DraftKings Sportsbook. Plus, all new and existing customers can take a shot at an even bigger payout with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. Boost your NFL winnings with each leg you add up to 100%. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WORLD. Talking Giants first. The World new customers can bet $5 on the NFL divisional round and get $200 in free bets instantly only at the DraftKings Sportsbook with code WORLD, WORLD. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Do we have a line?
Eagles -7. I just bet $20 on the Giants just to win. Not even cover the spread.
Oh, money line.
Yeah.
There you go.
On DraftKings Sportsbook.
Thank you, DraftKings. You'll be glad you did.
You'll be glad you did. Let me schedule that tweet for the morning.
The tweet. Schedule the tweet.
Schedule the tweet.
Tweet. Our live event. No, I want you to hear me. I'm going to wait for you to schedule the tweet.
I'm listening.
Sit here in silence. All right, silence over. The live event was awesome. I mean, when I say this night was the only word that I can come up with is special, because if you were there, if you're part of the live stream on YouTube, I think you kind of in a way experienced it more than I did. I kind of was behind a pillar, watching the game, paying attention to the game. Obviously, you feel the energy of the crowd. We went to Mr. Purple in NYC. We had the 14th floor and the 15th floor, 200 plus people, because we had a bunch of John Boy Media people there, which was also really cool too. And the place was jumping. Oh,
it was nuts, dude. Full on chance. I mean, it was after the game. It was almost like a we won the Super Bowl type atmosphere type thing. Yeah. People, like high-fiving everybody. Had my Dame Lillard moment. It was a very, just everyone was just kind of like, congrats, guys, congrats. One, just getting all the people to show up out there was a good time.
Crazy.
Like the people at Mr. Purple, they're like, please come back. Let's do it again. So we're going to try and do it again. It's a very quick turnaround, but we are going to try and do it again.
Our tech guys said that they could do it, so we'll try. We'll have an update. We don't have an update now, but hopefully I would like on Monday.
Hopefully we'll have an update on Monday, and then we'll have their tickets will go for sale at this time, so get them quickly type thing, because obviously they sold out. We may sell more tickets and just do first to both floors this time too.
We'll see. We'll certainly play it by. We'll talk about it. But it was really, really, really special. And people are saying congratulations. No, it's congratulations to us.
Congratulations to the
Congratulations
Giants.
to us. I mean, not even the Giants. The Giants, they get paid for it. Those players get paid a lot of money to go out there and it's their job. But it's congratulations to us, and especially the fans. They paid $20 to hang out with us. Plus, if you got drinks, if you got food, et cetera, you're traveling to New York City too.
Oh, we had I got to find his name. I talked to him for a good bit. He came from Germany for the event.
Yes, I wanted to ask him if he came from Germany for this event.
He asked me. He's like, "Should I come?" He's like, "From Germany." I was like, "Dude, I am not going to advise you to."
I'm not going to advocate for you to do
fly
this.
from Germany. I was like, unless you are loaded.
I met. He was one of the first people to arrive. I met him. This is.
God, I can't remember.
This is an awesome. This is just an awesome community that we've built, and it's congratulations to all of us.
Severin. Liker. I think I pronounced that correct.
There you go.
Severin.
There you go.
I remember saying his name.
We're in a Saquon
Patreon
jersey today.
Yeah, so I was very happy for him.
Yeah.
For that to be a win, not to go home sad. So thank you, Mr. Purple, having us out there.
Yeah, that was a really special night.
And all of the John Boy Media Company was there.
Yeah.
And they got to see like the Talking Giants atmosphere.
Yeah, we're putting out.
By the way, it makes me nuts, dude. Like I kind of like that's probably like the worst version of Bobby is on those live streams.
Oh no,
like,
that was fun.
I'm ready to go. So I had obviously in these moments you have like a cool. So I started doing like podcasting with my friend Zach, Simple Man Radio. And he like texts me like a picture of like, dude, like you guys are like on the front page of Bleacher Report right now through it. And they're like the number one trending. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty crazy where he's going. He's like, yeah. He's like, and the first thing I saw was you saying, fuck Minnesota and fuck you. So it was.
And that was cool. Yeah, we got to thank Bleacher Report too. That was a lot of fun. That was something that was kind of unexpected. I know you've worked with Bleacher Report before, and they've been fun. They've been a lot of nice. The people in the chat and the Bleacher Report were really cool too. I know Mage was in there. Our iRacing driver Anthony Calantoni was in there too. I put an Italian emphasis on that name for a reason. So shout out to all the people that are in Bleacher Report too. That was really, really cool.
Yep. All right, Justin. By the way, tell people to listen to this pod. Well, I should have said that at the beginning, but I didn't. So share the pod.
Too excited.
Yeah, that's what happens. Remember the draft recap. I was like always remember to ask for reviews.
Yeah,
Forgot to ask for reviews this last year. I was so mad at myself. Good. So tell your friends about the podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. So we appreciate you guys. Justin, anything else? I mean, this season ain't over. We got
another week of this.
I said we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Let's win some games. When we said let's win some games, that ain't just a fun phrase. That means continue. Let's continue to win some games. We want to thank Mr. Brownstone for putting this season in motion and saving the New York Giants. First playoff win since Super Bowl 46. All right, we appreciate you guys. We'll be back Wednesday. Should we just have Entertainment and NYG Daily back on again?
If you're for like routines and if you believe in what you do, I know you don't like. You're not superstitious. You don't believe in that.
But I do like. routine.
You do like tradition
and routine.
And that's exactly what
I
we
like creating tradition. I don't like actual tradition.
You're such a philosophical man.
Yeah, that's not even philosophical. It's just I hate a lot of holidays.
Happy Valentine's Day.
So we'll be back on Wednesday. We'll see what happens. It's funny we put so much effort into like, all right, we got to take advantage of this week. It's like another week. So we're going to live stream.
Another one.
Didn't have an O-line report and film review last week. We'll have that this week. So we appreciate you guys. We will see you on Wednesday. Until then, let's go Big Blue.